What I really want to do is ask you guys a question. And to do that, I want you to put your phones down, pens and papers down, etc., and just sit comfortably in your chair. Uncross your legs and shut your eyes. And just start by increasing your awareness of your body. And how I think one of the best ways to do that, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to reiterate this afternoon, is by the breath. So notice your breath. Don't try and change it. Just watch it and notice it. Feel it come in and go out, just like a wave at the ocean. Start to take slightly deeper breaths into your belly. And as you breathe out, send that breath, direct it down through your hips, through your legs, down through your feet to the floor. Take another breath. When it's ready to come, allow it to come. Sending that out breath down. And one more in your own time. Breath in and breath out. And then take your awareness to your heart space, to the center of your chest. And just ask yourself, from that space, how am I really feeling today? And maybe a word will come, maybe a sensation, maybe for some people an image. We will get our messages differently. Just notice. Just trust your gut instinct. Don't try and look for anything. Don't put anything there. Just come with the first thing, the gut instinct. And then bring yourself back into the moment. Open your eyes, rub your hands together, whatever you need to do to be very present again. Okay, so hopefully that was a nice experience for you all. I have been working for 30 years, as Thaddeus kindly reminded me. 30 years ago, I started my career as a physiotherapist. But for the last 20, I've specialized in holistic health. And every day, I see people that want to change in their life. They want something to feel different. They may come through recommendation because they want something physically to feel different. Maybe they've been very unwell for a long period. Maybe something's just cropped up. They may have something mental that really is driving them to come to me. Anxiety and depression are two of the biggest things I see people for probably at the moment. They may come because they just feel a little bit out of alignment. There's something not right. There's an unease about themselves, and they don't know what it is. So that is what I see on a day-to-day basis in one-to-one sessions, in workshops, and in my yoga classes. And really, I think the most important thing to know about the feeling thing is that if you want to feel different and you don't want to feel the same as you've always done, felt, whatever, you have to do something different. Because, as Henry Ford said, if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always got. And that is so true. So what I want to do for the next 15 minutes is just give you some insight and of the observations I've had over 20 years of experience, just in what changes you can make when you're more conscious about your health. Does that sound like a good idea? Yeah, great. Okay, so first slide. And I apologize if I turn my back, but you've got slides both sides. Conscious health, what is it? I went to the dictionary for this. So I'm putting my glasses on just to add. So conscious means an awareness of, or giving value or emphasis to. So I like the idea that it's about giving value to. Let's face it, many of us don't give a lot of value to our health till it goes wrong. I'm sure I've certainly been guilty of that. So it's very important to understand what conscious is. It's actually giving value and emphasis to that aspect of your life. Where it differs from the subconscious and the unconscious, which we often go back into repeating patterns from, is that the conscious mind has the ability to direct focus, and it can imagine that which is not real. Why that is important is because, I'm sure as somebody else will probably do more of later, is visualization is a very powerful tool in healing. And it's important because the conscious mind is able to do that. It brings up from the unconscious and the subconscious up to the conscious. So those two things are very important, I think, when you're thinking about conscious versus unconscious or subconscious. Now, health. We probably all have our definitions for health. The World Health Organization states that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. It is not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. I would like to add spiritual health in there too. So that's why, that's what it is. Now, why is it so important? Well, as I've told you, many of us don't really give any thoughts to our health really until something goes a little bit awry. Imagine your health is like a river. It has a natural rhythm, a natural current, a natural flow in your life. Then something goes a bit wrong. Maybe a tree falls in. Maybe something else. Maybe some boulders get in there. Something comes externally that changes the flow of that river. Maybe something from the riverbed stirs up. Things change. If we don't consciously make a decision to do something different, we go back to Henry Ford's wisdom. We will keep repeating patterns that we have been doing for time and time and time again. And I think it was Liz Gilbert recently said, you actually only get transformation and change when you're sick of your own bullshit. That has been definitely the experience in my life. I thought I wanted change, then something else has kicked in. I thought, I'm actually bored with myself with this. That is when you look out. I love that quote. It's humorous, like Liz Gilbert is, but it is absolutely true. And in 20 years of particularly his holistic health, that is what I see every day. People get change when they are really fed up with the status quo, and that is it. Now I've got to jangle lots of things, and next slide. So the first, wealth is health. That's also why it's important. I haven't got time to go in the financial aspects of health, but I'm sure any of you working in businesses or running businesses, you should start really thinking about wellbeing programs. It is upping a lot in London. But mental illness, 1 in 3 people are going to doctors and even not going for problems with anxiety and depression and mental illness and having time off work. We have to think about the value, the bigger value of health as well. So we're going to start with the 3 pillars. Over the years, I've really worked out that there are just real 3 pillars that really work when you want to change your health. Awareness, belief, and connection. So we're going to look into awareness, but rather than talk about it, I want you to experience awareness. Really experience it. You had a taste of it with the wonderful Stephanie at the beginning, but if you don't mind one more moment, putting everything down, uncrossing your legs. This is important. This is probably the tool that has the most impact as a daily exercise on your well-being. And I teach stress programs in hospitals, and this is what people get change from. So awareness. Uncross your arms, shut your eyes, and start to feel your feet. I want you to really feel the connection your feet have on the earth. I then want you to draw your attention on the in-breath to your knees, to your hips. Would you feel your hips sinking into the chair, into the seat? Really feel the contact that your buttocks have on that seat. Notice, how do you feel right and left? As you breathe out, let your body sink down into that seat. Make yourself comfortable. Watch your breath and notice it come and go. Stay connected to the process of breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Trying to extend your out breath. Make it longer than your in breath. 2 more breaths. Notice your mind. How's it doing? Every time your thought pops in, just start to quieten it. Say, I see you, thought. I don't need you at the moment. And go back to your breath. It's a mindful practice that is being taught increasingly all over the world. It's very, very important to be aware of where you are at. You can't get somewhere else if you don't know where you're at. And finally, I want you to drop into that heart space and think of somewhere in nature. Somewhere that makes you feel so uplifted, so expansive, so connected. Bring that place to mind and notice how that feels in your body. And just note that to yourself. And slowly bring yourself back into the here and now. Lovely. Hopefully that was a nice experience too. Notice how you feel though. Notice really the physicality of how you're feeling after that exercise. So second in my ABC is beliefs. Beliefs are, you could talk a whole day about beliefs. And I really didn't have any idea of the power of our beliefs until I started teaching stress awareness. It was a revelation to me what people were coming up with when we did exercises around the beliefs that are underpinning their daily lives. We all have them. They're no different from the rest of us. When I've looked at mine, it's been some very deep soul-searching at times. But the good news is they have the power when you're really honest and you really, really look at your belief systems and you want to change. That is the place to start. If you want more on this, I haven't got long to speak on this, and I know, but Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton, if you haven't ever read it, look at it. It's all about how your cell biology is affected by your belief system. It is fantastic. And The Artist's Way, if you haven't heard of The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, maybe some of you are nodding, you've done it. I've done the workshops with Julia. There's some great exercises in there on beliefs. Know your core beliefs, else they'll come up and grab you when you least want them, and they affect your health massively. The science is all there to prove it, I promise you. Okay. So hopefully I've convinced you on belief. And just one tiny thing, if I can, on that is perfectionism is a belief that is, I'm seeing an enormous amount at work. And that link between your self-worth and being perfect is a very, very, very detrimental belief system to carry around for your health. So I'm inviting you to explore your belief systems. It can be a lot of fun, as well as sounding like it's heavy. C, connection. Well, it's my favorite of the ABC. It's why I do things like this. It's why I teach workshops. I love the fact that connection is so hardwired. Oxytocin, some of you may well know about oxytocin more than me. It's a neurotransmitter. It's a wonderful, wonderful bonding hormone. It is what connects a mother to her child. It is deeply, deeply ingrained in us to connect. We are social animals. We need to connect. We know it reduces our stress and it gives us support. Connection, real connection, authentic connection. The best definition I know is by Brené Brown. Connection is the energy that is created between people when they feel seen, heard and valued, and when you can give and receive without judgment. That is a great, I think, a wonderful thing to tap back into. Authentic connection, we can feel it, can't we? When you're in the presence of someone who is present with you, you know, and it's making your well-being, your heart and your stress system so reinforced. Let's all search for real authentic connection today and going forwards. I'm going to finish. I believe I need to finish soon. But two of my favorite quotes. The first being, our worlds are defined by the window we look out of. I love this because what it takes for us just to look out of another window is tiny steps. Just do one thing differently. Just take a step. Commit to something new. Commit to maybe addressing that belief system that is so past its sell-by date. And you see a whole new landscape. And that's what we're looking for with change. And this because I'm in Singapore, and I get bitten a lot. If you think you're too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. This was the poster when I worked in the HIV charity in London, run by Anita Roddick, bless her. This is incredibly important. If you wait back to the perfection, if you wait to be the best, if you wait to be whatever you think you have to be, the most accomplished, the happiest, whatever, to bring change into your life or change into any situation, it won't happen. You'll be waiting in 5 years. Choose one tiny thing, even if that's telling a friend that you want to do X. Look for support. If you think you're too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. You're not. And that's why you're here, I'm sure. And thank you very much for listening. And enjoy the rest of the being sessions. And I will be around. I haven't had a question and answer session purposely, but I will be around. If anyone wants to talk to me, just grab me. I'm very happy to answer any questions one-to-one. Thank you for listening.